So I said something big was incoming for the channel, and this is it. The Wolverine Fossil Dig-1. On the day they announced it, I pre-ordered it. This is the biggest investment I've made in Airsoft, obviously 1,200 quid, but I've wanted a Wolverine for as long as I've been doing Airsoft, and this was the perfect opportunity to get into it. Let's get it open. So, as you can see, freshly opening it up. I haven't opened this yet. I do know my serial number though, because it was on the side of the box. So, you know, it's not a Gucci serial number by any means. Nice bit of foam in the top, not like the Noveski, which is all named out. So with this one, you get a special fossil collection patch, some kind of Wolverine service card, Dig-1 start guide. We'll go through all that in a bit. Your tape, not tape, your sort of beads for travelling. A Wolverine EPM mag. I believe this is 120. So yeah, I use EPM ones anyway, so this may not get all that much use. So that can go back in there for a bit, as it's not much cop to me. So the main sort of bump of what you came for, apologies if that box was in the way. Yeah, the colouring on it is absolutely outstanding. It really looks lovely. Oh mate, it's just nice. The grip feels lovely as well. It's a nice angle. Of course, all this stuff is subject to change and could get replaced out, but we'll see what's what. Let me get the top receiver out. So there you go. Oh, I don't like that. I don't know if there's a change in here, but it comes with the red muzzle, and that's actually plastic. So let me have a look in and around the packaging to see if there's another one. If not, I'm going to go and buy one from somewhere else, because I obviously don't want that. Oh yeah, so there you go. There's the black muzzle in the box there. So let's get this plastic one off. Just make sure that it's not being held in by some kind of yeah, we are not in America. I do not need the bright orange flash hider. Obviously, it's probably going to have a tracer on it because, as you know, I mainly play indoors, but yeah, we'll see. Oh, that does look good though. As you can see, that's on there. Looks really nice. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this box out of the way, because no one wants to be looking at the top of a box, and I think that's what most of the video is going to have in it, unfortunately. So we'll just get that. So there's your top. There's your bottom. This is obviously the frac line that goes through. That is the back of the XTS stock, Quake stock. And then as you can see there, this is the moving actuating stock. So yeah, let's get into it. This one obviously comes with the battery grip as well. So you can use 1, 2, 3 batteries in there for it. So you would just literally slip this out, I think. Oh, you would undo it there with a Allen key and then go from there. Let me just see if I've got the right Allen key for it. It should be a 2. Looking at it, which is, it's nice when these things work, isn't it? And you know what's going on. So what we'll do, we'll just wind that out. And then I think you literally just slide it off. I should have done a little bit more research on this, really, so I knew exactly what was going on. But, you know, I'm just excited to play with it and use it. So, yeah, that is as simple as it is. You just put your CR123s in, which I have here. I don't think they're the right batteries, actually. I don't know if these are AA's or AAA's. Oh no, they do seem to be right. Apologies. And then you literally just switch on at the bottom. And then you're good to go. I don't know if there's an indication of it if there should be an indication of it being on or whatever. But yeah, that's a nice, simple, easy process on that. Maybe a bit too easy, if I'm honest. And then you just slide that back in. Put the screw back in. Do it up. And you're essentially ready to go. You then put everything in as normal. So you feed through your frac line, you feed through your line just there, which will go into the frac itself. Sorry, I will try not to do that off camera. And then obviously you've got so that goes in there. It's a little bit fiddly, to be completely honest, but good things and all that. Okay, yeah, you give it a little push on a detent button there, and then you're good to go. Essentially, you feed that through. And then push that in. And then push that in. So he says. And then you pull that line through, so, and then that will click. So that will essentially be your rifle. And then I think what we'll do, we'll switch on. Yeah, and that's definitely all working, as you can hear. It's a nice operation so far. Quite happy with just how easy that is. Yeah, maybe a bit too easy. So what I'll do is I will just get a bottle connected up. So there's the line for the bottle. Just get that knife out of the way. And then you've got the carbon fibre bottle. This one is currently running 100 psi. I have been advised that it should be running a bit higher than normal psi due to the sort of main selling point of this particular Wolverine, which is the actuating stock. So that's fine. We will work with that and go from there. So then you get that on there. Okay, that's not as easy as I thought it would be to stick that in, but what we'll do, we'll give it its sort of first test. Okay. Oh, I like that. Let's have a feel in the shoulder. Yeah, I like that. Don't feel terrible, to be honest. That feels quite good. And to be honest, it has got a bit of force to it. I don't know which restrictor's in there, but if you just see here, and this isn't me moving the gun, like, but when you hit it, it does have enough force to move like stuff. So yeah, that feels unique. Okay, I'm down with this. It gives you a jolt. I'm not going to say if it's anything like my MWS or anything like that, but it gives you a jolt, and you definitely feel it. But yeah, like straight away, I am impressed, to say the least. I am very impressed. I need to have a bit more of a play and see exactly what's going on. Maybe pull it apart and check what restrictors I've got in and stuff, because I believe there's a restrictor plate on the inside for doing it. I'll tell you what we're going to do actually. While we're here, if I've got a speed loader, which I don't think I do, so I might just pop in the house and get one. I am going to run some 2s just to get a chrono reading out the box in here. So I'll be back in just a second with my speed loader. So I'm back. I'm going to load up the speed loader with some BBs, and we'll have a little chrono. Again, just some 2s, just so I can get an accurate gauge on the chrono. If PSI needs to go up, PSI needs to go down, then I haven't got to convert. I know it should be 350, and that's that. So we'll just have a quick fill. So these are a lot easier to fill mag-wise than the standard EPMs. There's no real resistance, even with a cheaper speed loader. So what I'll do, I'll quickly, I've got some BBs in my hand which were left over from overfilling, so just quickly put those in there. That's fine. I don't quite think there's a full mag there, but they seem okay enough, but obviously there is a little bit of wobble in there. I would like to see slight better tolerances. Maybe the proper EPMs are good for that, but obviously time will tell. So what I'll do is I'll go back to that. So let's have my first fire of an MTW. Well, my own. Rapid, great trigger response, absolutely fantastic. So let's get out the chrono. So as you can see, 0, around 100 PSI on that. Nothing too wild. Just going to fire this 2 through there just to see where we are. 320, 319, 321, 323. So yeah, we've got plenty of room in the tank to play with. So that could either be going up PSI or something else. So we will just have a quick look at that. Where are we? Obviously, I don't have my Wolverine Allen key with me. It's in another bag, and I don't want to keep going backwards and forwards. So remember, it's imperial rather than metric for the Wolverine regulators. Let me just take this off. It was set for a previous chrono, so... So that's that tag taken off. And then we will just go up a little bit. And that should be okay. There should be a little bit of... Okay, so I just need to go and grab my screwdriver. So yeah, I'm back. I've got my screwdriver, and then we're going to give this a little pep up to 110 and then test. Obviously, we'll just go piecemeal rather than chucking it up to extremes. We're getting there. 338.9. Let's see if there's a decent bit of 335, 340. Yeah, so 340, 342. That's a fantastic sort of chrono there for that. We will just give it one slight more turn just to get us closer to that golden 350. Remember, it's a limit. It's not something you have to be on, but yeah, 340s again. Maybe just a little more zhuzh on that. So that's about 125. That's about as far as I'm personally going to push it. Okay, so that's slightly over UK limit now. So let's slightly roll back. And then we'll depressurize. And then we're back at 120. Three, 4, 7, 3, 4, 8, 3, 4, 1. So there was a bit of a deviance there. 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm happy with that. That is currently at 343.7. The average, if we look, the max went up to 353.7. So let's say I've put 70 shots through this already. So the last sort of 5 were 343, 344, 346, 343, 341, 341, 345. Yeah, I'm more than happy with all these results, if I'm completely honest. Yeah, superb. Obviously, let's get reopened and let's see what's what. Let me just put this away. Apologies, the video is going to be a long one on this one, but I honestly think it's worth it for what this is. So again, what you'll do whenever taking this apart, you'll push on that frac, you'll start pushing that through, set your selector back, obviously. I've already switched it off, and then we'll push pins through. So what we'll do, we'll push those through all the way, then pull. There is a detent on the other side. So again, push that just so that it's not linked. So I don't know exactly the way to do this, because obviously with a normal rifle, you just pull up, but obviously I think the bottom one now also has to come out on this one, purely because you're then going to pull up and push away, because yeah, that makes perfect sense actually. So yeah, it's a slightly different process for this one. And what I will notice straight away, there is a slight pinch point on that line. I don't know where that's from or why. But yeah, when you're taking these apart, obviously because there's now an air system going to this stock just here, you have to take this pin out and almost lever up. So lever up, then pull out, which that's fine. That works. So let's just take this mag out. Yeah, I'm really, really happy with this. It's a really nice bit of kit. Yeah, I don't quite understand what that's for, but maybe that'll become apparent at a later time. But yeah, it seems a well-built replica. And I'm not going to follow the mistakes that I made with the Ghetto Blaster and start messing around with stuff. I'm just going to leave as is and play from there. I may put some different bits on it. So I don't understand quite how that works. But this stock will come off apparently. Okay, yeah, so it's just an extra hard pull. Apparently it's mil spec as well, so there is already a replacement on the way for this. Let's have a quick look. So the lower receiver isn't needed. I was hoping there would be some kind of coin with this, if I'm completely honest, as mental as that sounds. But yeah, let's have a quick open of this package. I'm not going to take everything out and open it, but so we've got some kind of Allen key. Obviously won't take that out, don't need it. These are the Quake recoil stock O-rings. Fantastic. I've got an O-ring kit there, should I need it. Fingers crossed we don't need it, because I don't want to have to do maintenance on it anytime soon, as it's a new piece of tech. But obviously we will, and we'll have that on the channel. So this is an optional part. I don't quite know what that's for, so bear with. It does have a QR code, so let's take a quick look at the QR and see what it says. So that's a receiver tensioner screw. Did you find a bag of mystery parts with your MTW? Find out what's with this special edition of What the Tech. So there are 3 adjustment screws for your Heretic Labs. Okay, so
if you're watching this video, you probably just got a kit of parts that looks something like this with your new MTW, and you're wondering, what are these parts for? Well, I'm Glenn, and I'm going to answer those questions for you on today's episode. What ribs they're running might be an issue. And as I mentioned before, if you run your wires...
So yeah, that's fine. I don't know what that particular one's for, but we'll take a look into that as and when needed. So we'll put that back in, as I definitely don't need that now. So this is the O-ring kit for the XTS, which is the new engine. Don't need that just yet, but again, we'll play with that. These, however, are needed. So these are flow reducers for the stock, and certain ones give you more feedback and punch. And then there's this grub screw as well, which means if you want to turn it off completely, you can. These bits are important, and we'll find out why in just a bit. So Wolverine Airsoft, got your 6, that's your 12-month warranty. I'll register that in just a bit. Oh, by the way, I haven't said in the video yet, you may have seen, but this is Dig-1 272. I wasn't fortunate enough to get a vanity number, and that's completely okay. I've got no problems with that at all. Yeah, I do understand the shop where I was. They did have a 300, but it wasn't allocated to me, unfortunately, which is a real shame. I wouldn't have minded a 286 or 269, you know, just a silly vanity number, but I'm happy. It's a really nice piece of equipment. So let's have a look at this. So that is a BB. Okay, so I think if I pull that up, BBs fall out. Fantastic. Obviously, where you can't pull this back, you don't know what's currently in the chamber, and that's absolutely fine. So this, I believe, sits up all the time, or you can have it so it does sit down. Oh, okay, so there's an indent there for when you want to do it. Obviously, you can play with your hop up just there. It feels like it's a nice hop up as well. It's not anything too crazy. I don't know anything about this process of taking these apart. So again, this is completely new to me. So I'm just looking at what I would think is what. Yeah, I don't want to break anything because obviously it's day one with this. So I'm gonna just have a little fiddle, little touch, and just see if it's looser anywhere else. Okay, so that does sit in there. So I think that will eventually come out there. Yeah, let me just have a quick look online and I'll come back, because obviously I don't want to potentially mess up here. Okay, so I've just had a quick look on the Wolverine website, and this is what it advises. You push this up. This is the retention clip. That's fine. That's nice and easy. And then it mentions taking this up, but being super careful with it because it can break. So obviously I am babying this with all my life. And then apparently you can pull this out, and that plugs in somewhere towards the back. So what we do is just make that as over there as possible. Wow, this is real fiddly. So that's fine. And then we'll give that a little zhuzh out, and that will then pull back through, which is fine. And then you have your brand new Wolverine XTS engine. So yeah, that is quite simple. It looks like that lays in there, lives in there. And yeah, we basically go from there. It is already slightly scratched up, so that's a real shame, but I genuinely don't mind. It's never going to be seen again, sort of thing. So yeah, that is nice and easy. So what's all of this? So I think it's as simple as turning this to take this out. There you go. And then you've got your nozzle there, really well lubed. Obviously, keep all of this together. And as you saw, what came out was the green restrictor. And what I'm going to do, that seems to be a sort of mid-sized one. Then you've got the blue one, which seems to have more. And then you've got the blue one, which seems to have less. And then you've got the red one, which seems to be wide open. So we're going to give the red one a go in this and see where we are. Didn't imagine I'd be fully taking down an MTW, but if I'm being honest, this is easy. Like, I have taken down other weapons, and compared to this is a bloody breeze. So then what you do, you stick your spring back in there, you stick that back in there, and I presume it's just as easy as that. So that goes back in there, and then basically you screw all back together. I'm not happy with that O-ring placement though. I don't know if that O-ring does live there or gets pushed back, but let's just move it for sanity's sake. Again, that's on nice and tight, so what we will then do, we will push back in. And again, time will tell if this is the correct way to do it. So when that's down, I think you would see the engine name just there. So when that's back there, I think that is the correct placement for it. So just there, so you can see the name. Or was it that way? Because obviously once that's all in, Okay, so I can't remember which way that went in and if there's a specific way to do it. We'll work this out. That's what we do. Okay, yeah, I think it was that way because that was scratched from the bottom previously. So when that goes in, no, because that needs to come out the bottom. So yeah, I am getting this wrong. So I think that way is the way for it. Yep, I'm happy with that. So now what we want to do, we want to get that contact yoke back in place by feeding that through. I don't know if this is the best way to do it, but it's could work. Yeah, that works for me. So yeah, it's an annoying install to say the least. So what we'll do, we'll stick that through there like that. Okay, yeah, I've got you. And then that will go in there somehow. Again, just trying to remember how this initially went. And I don't know if that means you just pull that slightly to the side and give yourself a little bit more room. Yeah, that's a nasty little... Okay, yep, so once that's all in, happy days. And then obviously make sure that's fed. And then that can go and sit back where it should. And then you get this clip. I don't know if it's got a particular kit. Okay, yeah, cool. That's it. And then with this one, you just have to make sure that there are no cables pinching. And then it's all properly seated. Fiddly, but again, if that's what it takes to have a Wolverine, it's what it takes. Okay. That's fine. Apologies, this isn't the most interesting part of the video, but it's something that needs to be done. That doesn't sit well. So let's work out what's going on and why. So, okay, so that needs to be perhaps over there a bit more. Do we brock it in? No. I don't understand this at all. It just doesn't seem to be sitting back where it was. So there's a... Yeah, I don't think I've got this just right, because it looks like there's almost a place for a line just there. So I think it might need a bit of jiggery pokery. And I don't know if it's the red one or the black one. So let me just take this out. At least I'm making these mistakes so you don't have to, right? So let me just see. If I stick it like that, and then push that back. No, that's not right either. Okay, so that's fine. And what we'll do, so I don't know if that needs to be pulled through a bit more. Like I said, I'm new to the platform, so please do pardon any particular ignorance on this. It's not ignorance for the sake of ignorance, it's ignorance just because I don't know. Oh, I think we're in now. So yeah, it needs to be over one of the lines to push in there, and then obviously to push down there. That is slightly being pushed over, which is a concern. So let me just take that back out and just make sure all is all right. And nothing's getting crimped or squeezed too much where it's going to cause damage, because that's the last thing we want or need. I'm sure the contact yokes are easily replaced, but I don't want to replace it, if I'm completely honest. I'd rather it just work. So again, push down nicely. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, perfect. So yeah, that just sits in lovely. This isn't an easy platform to open up, in respect, but it also is. So okay, then what we do, we feed back in like we did earlier. We press the button on the frac to feed that in. There's a lot going on here. So that will eventually push through. Yep, it just takes a little bit of effort and a bit of jiggery pokery, and then you're good. And then what you want to do, you want to seat that just there while pushing that through. You'll give that a little pull while also pushing that down. You need about eight pairs of hands for this. Slightly doing it off camera, apologies guys. Oh, it would help as well if you could put it into the bottom. Maybe just use very, very gently some pliers just to assist with pulling that through. Obviously very, very gently. That line gets super kinked when it goes in, so I don't know if that needs to be longer. Obviously the Wolverine guys know what they're doing, this is their speciality, but would I have made it longer? Yeah, I probably would have. But I'm not an engineer, so my opinion doesn't necessarily matter. So we're having a look at that. Does that need to be slightly twisted again? No, because then it won't sit. Let me just have another look at this. Oh, this one comes out first, as advised. Oh, that's brilliant. That's been dropped. Oh, I've got that. That's fine. And then that yoke will come up. So to make that more friendly, sorry this video is going on and on and on, but obviously, again, first time with this platform, and I just want to make sure it's right because I don't want to have to replace anything. So obviously that would be best there. So that's going straight out the bottom. So maybe it is there. You know what? I could just stop being stupid and just look back at the video I did earlier. I think maybe that's it. Because then obviously that goes straight out the bottom of the frack. Let's try that. I'm going to watch this video back and I'm going to be like, you're an absolute idiot. And and that's why it wasn't working. But, you know, we play with these toys, don't we? That does make a lot more sense, if I'm completely honest. And let's see if that fits. And then we'll place that other clip in. So that sits in lovely. And then what we will do, we will get that in there, folded against that bit. And then push that forward. Yeah, that's it. That fits bloody perfectly. Oh. So the XTS logo needs to face downwards, I think. Again, I'll review this back later and I'll probably be wrong again, but... So then what we'll do, again, you have to remember to press in that detent. You'll push that through. And yeah, that went through. That goes in so much easier this time. Again, holding that. Sliding that in. Okay, so when you know, it's much better. When you know, you know. Okay, so that then sits in, that clicks. Just make sure. So that's all working. Let's get some more BBs into that mag. Again, twos. So that's in, lovely. So what we'll do is, again, we'll attach the bottle. Again, this stuff may have to go away in the box. Well, it will go in the box, and then that box can live out the way. So it's on safe. I'm going to attach. So that can come out the way. They're meant to be easier, these fracks, but I think I prefer a line, you know. That does seem to have a bit more kick to it, and apologies for the camera going awry there. I've got a cable coming down. Okay, so taking that reducer out. It reduces the stock feel, so you're not getting as much feedback, and you're also getting a lot more FPS. So the FPS went up as high as 400 on that one. So I probably won't be using that because I want a bit more recoil. Let's drop the... let's drop that down. So we're back at 100 FPS like we were earlier. So I don't know if this reduces flow backwards or forwards. I don't know the science behind it, if I'm completely honest. And that sounds bad because I've bought into something and I don't really know. But those is the brakes. Them's the brakes. Okay, so that's all right. I've reduced. Okay, so I'm down to 100 FPS on a 2 with that flow restrictor, and we're shooting around 376. So there you go, 376. Let me move this cable because it's causing absolute nightmares with the camera. So yeah, that's not terrible. Let me think what I'm going to do, because I think 100 FPS is nice, but I don't want to be over sight limits. So what do we do? Do we go back to the one we used before? Do we try the other one? Let's try the other one at 100 FPS and just try and get this all mapped out perfectly and lovely, because I want it just to be perfect for a potential game day tomorrow. And yeah, we'll see what's what. Let's get that disconnected. So we are already 500 PSI down after tests, and I haven't even done the dwell yet. So we will get some more air in it tomorrow. So we are back to this packet. We'll switch her off. So again, bottom one first, forward one first. Then second you do that pin, out she comes. Okay, that one's a little bit tough. And then obviously you push on the frac line, you start pushing it in, lift up and out, and then push that through. you may need to keep that pushed down. Perfect. It's getting easier with muscle memory. So again, that goes away. Don't need that for a minute. We will remove any BBs stuck in. Chuck them in the used pot because they've been fed through now. That can just go over there. That is perfect. So that one's out. Again, remember, XTS logo up top. Pull that out. Slightly pull that through. Give that a little pinch there to pull the connector out. That's fine. And then just place that there. Engine comes back out. And then we go again. So we slide this off again. Let's just move this out the way. So this comes out. That can stay just like that, as we don't need any further involvement with that for the minute. Tap, tap. So double tapping that out the nozzle. So we've got the red one at the moment. I think the manual would have explained exactly what's what, and maybe we should just have a quick look at it. So we will get all of this bump out. That can just sit there for a minute. So fossil collection, assembly, disassembly. No, that's it. It doesn't. You will need BBs with recommended weight, storm. Yeah, it doesn't have anything about the flow reducers there. So let's see if there's anything elsewhere about it. Let me just put this all back in because I'm a bit anal about stuff that comes with anything really. I just like it to all go back in nicely. So that one has put us a bit over sight limits. So I'd say we don't use that one. Where are we? Where are we? Was it the green one we used before? Sorry, this has been going on for ages now. So was it the green one? Was it the green one? Yeah, I think it was the green one because I mentioned the blue one having a... Let's try the blue. I know we didn't use the blue last time, but I want to see if that gives a bit more of a kick. So yeah, there you go. Just push it back in just like that. Just make sure anything in and around the engine. Okay, so that goes back in. That goes through. Lovely. Again, these bits, keep them safe because you may need to change them out on a game day. Might be worth putting them in something safe within your kit bag. Obviously, you do you and what's pertinent to your setup for Airsoft. Okay, so that nozzle's pushed back a bit. Nozzle, I mean the hop and barrel. So we could potentially take that out, but I don't want to start messing with stuff if it's working. So yeah, that's, again, that's how it went in last time, after all that fiddling. And then what we'll do, we'll feed that through. We'll make it so we can get it connected. And then we'll go from there. So that's probably the best way to do that. And then quickly flick that over. Yeah, I can't imagine I'm going to want to do this a lot, taking this engine in and out. It's not the easiest of jobs, if I'm completely honest. It's fiddly and annoying. But once you've got a hang of it, it's actually all right. Like, so that's back in. That's in as well. Let's get that clipped down. I can see why people like using these, if I'm completely honest. I can. It's just an easy platform to work with. Like, it is just easy. Like, and I've tinkered with a lot of my replicas. Yeah, and that time, straight in, no fuss. Oh, so that may be coming back out because I don't like the alignment on that. So that's fine, that can push slightly against that. So yeah, make sure that XTS logo is lovely and straight. So this is the blue flow reducer. Again, that one is nicely tucked in and away. Perfect. And that goes together so well, so easy, once you know how. It's funny, isn't it, once you've got knowledge. And then obviously we will go back to feeding that through that gap. And then again, feeding that. That time, perfect, easy, worked. Everything's clipped in. You can hear that solenoid actuating there. What I'll do, I'll put it back on safe. These tools can just go out the way for a sec. If it's not needed, it can bugger off. Everything that's meant to be in there is in there. Okay, so yeah, that feels, I don't know if that's placebo, but that feels like it's got more of a punch. Again, I'm probably going to find out on the website that this is all wrong and I'm making it up in my head. But yeah, let's get the chrono back on. Don't forget the previous one was around 370. Okay, so that's down to a more manageable 285. So I think that is giving more punch to the stock and taking away from the FPS. So let's get that done. So that's getting close to just 2. So we'll take that up to 115. I don't know if you can see there. So 115 is giving 295. So I don't think this is the flow reducer for me. I think I'm just going to sit back in the middle with green. Green's going to be the one for me for how and what I'm shooting. So I'm going to get that replaced out and go from there, really. Yeah, more than happy with that, to be completely honest. Really, really good experience so far, and I haven't even actually fired any proper shots. So yeah, positive, really, really positive. Only good things to say so far. So again, we slightly push that frac through. We use that just to push down. Again, that one just to push down. We pull them through. Oh, nice. There's a little mark on the bottom. I didn't notice that. I'm sure there's going to be loads of little Easter eggs on this that I'm missing and haven't seen. But yeah, that will come in time, won't it, I guess. So yeah, that's easy to do. I don't know why I've not bought a Wolverine before, if I'm completely honest. That's just easy to work on. Let me just take the mag out, just so it doesn't feed next time when we put it all back together. Because otherwise we're just losing BBs for the sake of it, aren't we? So we'll take those, chuck those away. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the flow reducer in it, the green one, and then we'll test again. And bear in mind, this is just for field limits for the UK. You may have different field limits where you are, so don't feel you have to stick to what I'm doing, because I'm purely getting this ready for UK field limits. If you're out in sort of Eastern Europe, I know they're a lot higher. I know in the States they're a lot higher. So yeah, just do what works for you and your agreed sort of limits, and yeah, then you can play away to your heart's content, can't you? Let me get this out. This is so annoying. I need to get some kind of needle nose plier and just work that out. Oh, that was easier. That's what we're doing from now on. Yes, mate. So again, we're back out. That's getting a little bit of scratching on it, so I don't know if that's taken away paint on the inside. We'll give that a little clean. So the blue is okay, but really, really reduces the flow. So that's the smallest one. And then obviously we tried the red earlier and the red was bloody wild. If I'm going to go to a DMR game though, maybe the red is usable. So we've got green. It was green, wasn't it? Yeah, we've just gone blue. Red was earlier. So that can all go back over there. Again, apologies that this video is quite so long. I think we're approaching nearly an hour. But, you know, if anything, I'm thorough. And with spending this kind of money, I want this perfect. And obviously, I'm probably going to do more testing off camera. Just playing with it because, yeah, at the end of the day, we're all nerds, aren't we, doing this? And we like testing our gear and saying it's the best and this, that and the other. So let me just get that fed back through. So it goes in that way. And he puts it in the wrong way. I'm a bit tired. I was up early this morning because I knew I could go and collect this. So and let's see if those needle nose pliers work again to help me put it in. Okay, yeah, that's easy. Just use tools to help you guide it in. And then basically that goes through there. Nice and square. We'll get that clipped in. So that's nice and solid. That will now obviously sit well there. So he says, every time it just doesn't want to do what I want it to do, which is not fun. This yoke will eventually be replaced because I can see it getting damaged eventually, unfortunately. And then that sits in there. Lovely, no issues at all. Again, we've all been through this process quite a few times now, so we know exactly what's going on. We push in that little detent. We aim that nozzle inside just there, and then we push everything together. So that, again, something just didn't want to go that time. Okay, yep, so that's fine. It was the line between the frac and the engine. So that's all back together. Everything's got a nice satisfying click as well. It just feels really well built, really lovely. Also, talking about attachments, I have a very special attachment inbound for this. When it's delivered, I'll talk more about it and do a video. Obviously, going to do torch. I've got a really lovely M-lock switch coming for it as well. And I need to think of something on the bottom. I don't know whether it's going to be a proper foregrip or some kind of thumb stop, but we will eventually find something. But yeah, let's get back to testing. I don't know if I like this system. It was meant to be easier, but I don't find it easier. Yeah, that's nice. That's just the right mix. yeah, I should have just left it as it came out the pack. So yeah, that's... And it stops on empty, so can't really ask much more of it than that. You're not overshooting, wasting wasting air. Because this isn't a gas gun. You don't shoot gas with this. You shoot HPA. I can tell I'm tired because I've just put the whole thing back together without even, put the mag in without even filling it. So let's have a quick look where we are. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Where's the chrono? Chrono. So 345, 350, 344. That is perfect. That is shooting, well, the last one dropped by 30, so. Oh, I think it's because it's hitting the top of the chrono. Okay, so they're going slightly over. So the magic screw, the magic Allen key will make an appearance. And then what we'll do, we'll just slightly go down, depressurize by removing. So that's just at 100, so I think that's going to be a bit too much of a drop. 105. Let's give that a little testy. And then I'm going to try and wrap this video up because I want to go and do some sort of range shots at home. 337, 340, 340, 340, 338, 344, 342, 342. And I haven't even done the dwell on this yet, so that will need to be brought into consideration as well. So let me wrap this up. If you want to know how to do dwell and stuff, that is available on Wolverine's website. I'm going to go and finish playing and go from there. I hope you've enjoyed the video and the kind of initial thoughts around it. But it's absolutely fantastic. It looks beautiful. It fires beautifully. I'm going to go and do a bit more. And if I need to add anything to this, I will. If not, see you later.